check it out. You guys, we can see 50 miles across Lake Michigan. You can see the Chicago skyline. You can just put that down for 2 seconds, don't worry about it. So, there you go, nice. All right, so you ready? So we can see across Lake Michigan, 50 miles from the shoreline. You can see the entire Chicago skyline. Over a distance of 50 miles of water, keep in mind, right? There should be 1,700 feet of freaking curvature. Well, guess what? It ain't there because you're looking. So the guy in the news, he tells you what you're seeing is a mirage, okay? All right, maybe it's a mirage, right? So a guy named Rob Skiba, he rented a boat, he got a video camera, and he videotaped the skyline, quote, that mirage, and then he drove across the lake with his video camera on it the whole time until it was right in front of his eyes. So, was it a mirage? And if it's not a mirage, right, where's the curve? Guys, people are posting YouTube videos where they're, yeah, right? No, you know what, there's a great saying. I live by this one. And it doesn't, no offense to anyone, but condemnation before investigation is the highest form of ignorance, right? Think about it. If you're going to laugh at somebody and you're not even going to look into what it is they believe, how the heck do you know, right? And that's what I used to do that. That was my middle name, was ignorance. That was how I lived. And I don't want people to live that way anymore. That's why I'm out here, man. Because when you wake up to the lies, you will see they are everywhere. But people are taking videotapes, and you know how they say ships sail over the horizon and then they disappear? Have you ever heard that? Okay. All they do is they grab their camera, they zoom in on where that ship was, and guess what? The ship reappears. How do you do that on a ball? Right? How the heck do you do that on a ball? You don't do it on a ball because there's no freaking curve. I'm not even joking. This is hard. Like, the thing is, there's so much evidence for flat Earth. The problem is, people can't accept it. Some people can't even look, right? Because it's too scary. The implications of what that means. It means everything's a freaking lie, right? In order to believe that the Earth is flat, everything is a lie. And that's what I've come to believe now. It's all a lie. And it would make sense, like, guys, I don't know if you guys are young or how, you know, if you're still in school, but, you know, we serve little kids, the food they serve little kids in school, it's like poison. It's not non-GMO food, you know, dangerous, genetically modified organism GMO food is. Why are we feeding little kids it? Because people don't give a shit about little kids. It's all about the money, right? We pay NASA $53 million. I'm sorry? Are you videotaping? Yeah. We pay NASA $53 million a year, guys. I'm sorry, $53 million a day goes to NASA. You think you could put that money somewhere a little bit better spent? Right? Think about it. How many kids are freaking out there starving to death, you know, or parents or who are orphans who have no one cares about or are getting freaking sexually abused by the people who are in charge of them. I mean, there's a lot of problems going on in this world. But anyway, flat Earth for me, when I heard it, I laughed, right? Like everybody, of course, right? That's a natural reaction. It's so funny. Have you guys ever looked into NASA and the moon landing? Have you really ever investigated it?
No.
You guys think it is? Oh, you're with me?
Shane Dawson does all the conspiracy theories. So, like, I've seen it. I know he has one on the Earth is flat, and a lot of people say he convinced them that it is flat. So I still have to check that video out. But I saw the moon landing one where he said it's fake. That's kind of sketchy.
Kind of. I have a photo of it here. You guys have already seen that lunar lander thing that they said landed on the moon. Thing's an embarrassment. Come on. Like, think about this is 50 years. We haven't gone back in 50 years. What? 50 years we can't go back? It should be freaking easy for them. Yeah. I mean, the hard part is accepting it. Like, I understand because, I mean, this is just the tippy top of the iceberg, guys. It gets, the more you look, the worse it gets. There were some things that I think were harder for me to accept than flat Earth that I learned. And I'm not even going to tell you them because you guys think I'm out of my freaking mind. But, you know, it's up to, you know, for people to investigate this stuff because the more that we can wake people up, the quicker the system will change. I like to use the analogy, ask people, do they think that they're a slave? If you're working age, or do you think your parents are slaves? Literally, by definition, we are slaves, guys.
I mean, you consider yourself a wage slave.
I mean, you're a freaking slave. When they can take your money, when they can take 2, 3, 4 months. Do you have children? I have no kids, no. I guess that proves it all, huh? I guess I don't have an opinion. I can't have any opinion if I don't have kids. So, but you know, if you look up the definition of slavery, one is just one way to define it is to work excessively hard to make your living. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people making $10 an hour. I don't know if you guys ever work for $10 an hour. and lived in New Jersey, but that shit ain't easy, right? I would call that being a freaking slave. And yet, meanwhile, everyone runs out, and what do on the 4th of July? Woohoo! United States this, United States that.
A lot of people this year didn't feel like really celebrating.
Good for you. You're awake. Maybe. I don't know if that was mockery. It could have been. Sorry. Go ahead.
So a lot of people weren't like really up for celebrating because of the whole like Trump thing and all the controversy going on. So like, I'm not gonna stand up for America if it's not really like not everything's going the way we want it.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is they drag like Trump into it. So it's called divide and conquer, right? Because if you're not for Trump, then you're more than likely a liberal Democrat, right? So what do? They keep us divided, the population, fighting amongst ourselves, while the freaking thieves at the top, Democrat, Republican, same team, guys. Same. I voted for Trump, right? I'm 45, 6 years old, right? Duh. I'm still voting like a fool. I barely voted in my life, but for some reason I hated Hillary Clinton that much that I thought it mattered.
I thought they were both bad.
Of course. A couple months after, he's sending missiles over to Syria, and we're blowing things up, and he said how he was all for peace. Yeah. Well, the actions speak louder than words, and that kind of woke me up a little bit that I was a sucker. And the fact is like, I'll never vote again. The whole system is a sham, and as soon as I get to the point, as soon as enough people wake up, I ain't paying my taxes either. I'm not afraid to say it, because my taxes are they're not, guys, I own a business, right? Now, in our business, if I had an unlimited checking account, right, where I could just write unlimited checks, does it matter if I have any sales going out the door? I don't need to make any sales, right? Well, we've run a deficit where we have trillions of dollars of unpaid bills. Dude, they don't need our taxes. The reason why they tax us is to keep you poor, so you don't have any freaking time to do anything except go out. You get home, you're exhausted. You come home and you don't want to think about any of this stuff, right? You're gonna just unwind, have a few drinks, and get ready for the next week. Well, you guys are still young, so you're probably still a little happy and enjoying your life. No, yeah. Well, if you're in that, if you're in the working world, then a 40-hour week. At the end of a 40-hour work week, you don't exactly feel like going in investigating things because you're beat down. But now, how beat down would you be if you got 40% of your money back, right? You might have a little bit more money to say, I can pay the rent, I can do this, and now, you know what? Maybe I don't really want to work 40 hours a week anymore. Maybe I only want to work 30 hours a week. So I have a little bit more time rather than freaking 2 days to myself, right? Dude, it's dark. And that's just like, this is just common sense stuff, but I'm sure you guys felt some of that, right? No, I don't mean to be preaching to you guys either. It's more about flat earth for me while I'm out here. I have paperwork if I can give you, if you want. You guys can look up YouTube channels. YouTube is censoring people. They're taking down good video channels. There's, if you type in, just as a point, if you Google flat earth, you know what you're going to get as a search result? Debunking flat earth. If you're looking for information on flat earth, why are they feeding you debunking flat earth? Do it on YouTube, same thing. First videos that come up, debunking flat earth. Try it, you know what I mean? Don't believe a word I say. I wouldn't expect, I'm not going to look out here to try to convince anybody that they're just flat, but I really would be happy if people just would look into it themselves, come back and say, Dave, you know what, you were wrong because this, and this. I'll listen, man, I could be wrong.
Our physics teacher tried to explain it to us, but you got like so raveled in it that you just gave up.
On what? Why the earth is not flat, or?
You was just talking about the conspiracy of the flat earth. It's considered a conspiracy, right?
Well, you mean, of course he's going to call it a conspiracy. Yeah. If it's not, then man, what does that say about your physics teacher and all his beliefs, right? He's invested, guys. He's invested in it, and he might just be he was brainwashed from a little kid too. And you can there's so many quotes on Einstein when he talks about how you can, imagination is so important. So like it's kind of creepy. And anyway, you were going to say something? I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh, okay. So you have to, like, math equations, like, can manipulate those to kind of describe anything they see, I think. Here we go. So there's just a lot of questions. Let me give you paperwork and check into it. Look into it, guys, because you see, it is it's so hard. It's so hard to accept this stuff, but My channel is Zoom Truth. You guys can look on there, but you don't have to look at my channel. I swear. Look at the YouTube channels that I mentioned that are flat Earth related. One of them, Jaranism, guys. He tears apart NASA. Like that's probably where Shane got some of his videos. Jaranism. Yeah, Jaranism is like he's been doing this for like 3 years, maybe 4 years of just like making fun of NASA. Like you'll see bubbles in space. I don't know if you guys saw that video. Literally, you'll see bubbles. You know that two astronauts have almost drowned in space in the last 10 years.
How do you drown in space?
Right, but you know what they have in NASA has a giant replica of the International Space Station in a pool. Huh. Did you know that? Yeah, that's where they practice. So are they practicing or are they actually filming for when they tell you you're in space, right? I mean, they literally twice they had emergency problems where someone was drowning in space. I'm not even kidding.
So what do they do? Like, do they just like send help? Since like help is so far away.
Who knows? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? It's all, I mean, it's such a production. There's been 3 guys on the ISS, 3 of the astronaut liar guys were glitched out at the end of one of the videos where the guys were glitching, but the background remained fine.
Many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Now, when they said goodbye, I guess the virtual reality camera was cut off. And so the objects that were on the virtual reality layer, the objects that needed to be floated in space by 3D software, vanish out. I want you to notice the hull, the other camera, the stage prop, the hull of the ISS stays perfectly in focus. If this had been a compression error from the ISS, the whole video would have washed out, but only the virtual reality layer gets washed out.
Whoa, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, that's the same thing with the moon landing. It was like how the production went. There was like shadows.
Yeah, you could see through one of the guys on the moon landing. You could hear him hammering. Well, you're in a vacuum. You can't hear anything, guys. There's no air for sound waves to travel, right?
Like wave. Apparently there's no air. No air. Yeah. That's kind of weird to me.
Everything's weird, man. Everything. Modern medicine, guys. You know that I didn't eat for 31 days on a water fast, and I'm here. I'm alive. You know that I didn't drink. I did a dry fast. It's a dry fast is when you don't eat or drink anything. I went 4 days on that. They say you'll die after 3 days. I'm still here. There's people who haven't eaten or drank anything for like 14 freaking days. There's another group of people called breatharians who supposedly don't eat or drink anything ever. Period. Yeah. People are testing what is, because what are the boundaries? The boundaries are what are up in your freaking head, what you define sometimes. I'm not saying like we're Neo Matrix stopping bullets, but a lot of people, like my friends were like, oh, you're gonna die when you do the water fast. No, I dropped like 50 freaking pounds and felt a million times better, and then I cleaned up my diet. I went vegan, or actually plant food based, because I learned about, I don't know if you guys watched the What the Health video, but you'll learn all about how they're poisoning us with their GMO food and all this other garbage. I mean, it's just everywhere, guys. Everywhere. And, sorry, I don't mean to bump. Yeah, you're having like a nice Friday night, and I have you force you to say, hey, put that down and talk to me. I don't know, something called out to me. You guys look like open-minded people.
Yeah, I'm really interested in it. Like, I don't mind opening my mind to other things.
Yeah, just be prepared to lose some of your friends who aren't so open-minded. I'm telling you, I lost all my friends in one of my teeth. No, I'm just kidding about the tooth. But you know what happened is I learned about with the dentist, and I really believe this now that like the root canals and like you can get your tooth replaced that way. I don't think they're that healthy for us. And so I'm kind of stuck now. And what happened was I went in and the freaking dentist drilled away my tooth before I even know what they were doing.
Like insurance money.
I'm like, where's my freaking tooth? Like, and they're like, well, we're getting you ready, prepped for a root canal. I'm like, what? And this is like kind of right before I kind of woke up to like medicine being kind of, I'm actually going to do it's called a gallbladder and liver flush. I'm not going to get into the details with you, it's kind of gross. But you flush out your liver out, and there's gallstones that if you eat a standard American diet, if you're eating cheese, if you're eating meat, if you're eating garbage basically, you're pretty much guaranteed to have these things, right? So I've come to find out that that's one of the main reasons why they take people's gallbladders out, right? Is because they have these stones in them. Well, you can do a simple treatment to yourself, which will cost like $5, and it might take you a few times to get it done, and you'll get rid of these stones naturally, right? Guess how much the surgery is? $11,000. They do like 800,000 of them a year. They taking people's organs out of them. And that's $8 billion industry. Now, do you think that doctor is going to be fair to you and say, you know what, guys, listen, there's a real easy way you can do this, but I got a mortgage to pay for, and they got a Ferrari property to pay, right? The doctor, they're living the life, and they get corrupted by this crap. That pisses me off, man. Little kids getting their gallbladders taken out unnecessarily. I honestly, I mean, when I did it the first time, I had like stones come out. Like they're like the size of a freaking nickel. And I had them, I had probably like 6 or 8 of them the first time. And I got tomorrow, the next day when the flush part happens, and I'll see what happens. Again, I'm not being gross, but our health, guys, is so important. And I all my years I was drinking, smoking like an idiot, eating whatever foods I wanted. And I mean, I don't think it was like purely me becoming more mature. I think it was like me waking up to like, what are you doing, bro? Like, oh, and the other thing is I had ulcerative colitis, which is painful. Your stomach hurts. I healed it in freaking a month and a half. They tell you like the doctors are removing people's intestines because of that shit.
It's like the same thing. They say there's like a cure for cancer, but they don't want to like reveal it because they just want more people to pay for the chemotherapy and all of that.
I truly believe that cancer is a symptom. I'm really believing that it's a symptom of your of your entire sewage system getting like backed up, clogged up, and then those poisons go out throughout your body and end up nesting in certain areas and then the symptoms arise. But so what do? They just try to hide, they attack those symptoms. The root cause of the problem is still there. The chemo isn't doing anything. So, I mean, I don't know that stuff for fact, but I'm starting to feel strongly like that's the case. I used to have psoriasis, and you can still see it on my leg a little bit, but like I expect that I'll be able to cure that. Well, they say, there's tons of people on YouTube who say they cure their skin disease through proper diet. But the doctors tell you there's no cure. But you know what they do? They give you a free prescription at $120 prescription that'll keep you on that thing for the rest of your life. It's all about the money, man. It is, man. It's depressing. Yeah, and just so you guys get an idea too, I'm part of the problem too. We have a chocolate business, my family. Our busiest season is like Christmas and Easter, right? But who are we feeding all that chocolate and sugar to? Which is addictive. It's dangerous. Little freaking kids. People who are diabetics. And I make my living off of that. So, king hypocrite right here, right? So, anyway, I don't mean to hold you up all day. I really appreciate talking with you guys. It was nice.
It was nice. I really learned a lot.
Cool. Well, keep in touch if you want. I'm on YouTube and study this stuff up. I think a little bit if you can, if it does interest you, because you might avoid some pitfalls that I didn't. That would be cool. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by too. Good luck with all your carrying there. See you.
Right, it looks flat that way.
It does, doesn't it? People are zooming in on ships that supposedly went over the horizon.
I didn't mean to get you going.
All right.